But let's move on to the main event of the evening. The reason we're here, I'm excited for this matchup. We got a heavyweight matchup going on between Ciryl Gane, who is 8-0 and is the minus 170 favorite, going up against Alexander Volkov, who is 33-8 and is the plus 145 underdog. What do you feel about this main event?
Well, first, this has title implications in my mind. I think everybody else in the heavyweight division is booked up at this moment. So these guys are the first ones out. Whoever wins this probably gets the next shot. If it's impressive, because I was saying that when Gane fought Rosenstruik. Both of these guys are coming off of victories, albeit Volkov's win was more over Walt Harris. I remember that episode quite vividly. I think that's the episode you went in on Walt Harris.
Yes.
Was much more impressive than Gane's versus Rosenstruik. I was completely bored with that fight. I expected so much more from Ciryl Gane, and I think if we're gonna say played it cautious like OSP, I think he played it cautious.
I wouldn't say Gane played it cautious. I just felt like with him fighting his fight, Rosenstruik's the one who's staying back, and it's just like it just made it look like he was fighting cautious. But that's his game, using his distance, and that's what he did.
I thought that fight was so boring. I likened that to the Ngannou Derek Lewis fight. Like that was a snooze fest, and I thought that was going to be like first round TKO, like on either side, because these guys can just stand and bang. But I expect this fight to remain standing. Volkov came in and said that he's expecting a slugfest, and Gans came in and said that he respects Volkov's wrestling. He says he's got top notch wrestling in the UFC. I think this is going to be a more aggressive Gane. And I think what's crazy about this is I've never seen, besides maybe Stefan Struve, somebody have a longer reach than Volkov.
Yeah.
And Gane's, 4 inches shorter than him, 3 inches shorter than him. Math is hard sometimes, but coming in there with that reach advantage is huge. But Volkov's best weapon is his range, which he needs to use to his advantage. His wrestling is underrated, and I don't expect Gane to take the fight to the ground. Gane's use of the leg kick could be the X factor in this matchup. I think this fight will start cautiously because there are title implications for this. Both fighters are looking to find their range and then get the second round. In the second round, it's going to pick up. With this fight, this was the toughest one to pick, I think, because Volkov has looked unbeatable lately. Has looked great. I think the hardest fight he had was against Greg Hardy. Lately, it was at some points it got a little dicey, and Greg Hardy's practically a novice at MMA, so that kind of played a factor in my decision. So I'm going with Ciryl Gane by third round TKO. I think he's gonna break the long limbs of Volkov, get between them, and just piece him up against the cage.
This was the easiest fight for me to decide for Ali. But first, you got Ciryl Gane. He fights out Venetians, France. Don't even want to try and say that. 31 years old, 247 pounds. He's 6'4" with with the 83-inch reach. And then he fights out MMA Factory Gym. Then you got Alexander Volkov, who fights out Moscow, Russia. He's 32 years old, 264 pounds. He's 6'7" with the 81-inch reach. And he fights out Straya Team Gym. First, you got Gane. He has really good distance management and footwork. His speed and head movement are exceptional. He has a kicking game that is refined and one of the best in the division. He has a Muay Thai background and isn't afraid to use his knees and elbows in the clinch. Against southpaws, he likes to use the body kick. His stiff jab is one of his favorite strikes to utilize. He's been working to mix in his jiu-jitsu into his game, and he has one of the best cardios in the division. Then you got Volkov, who likes to strike with a body kick to southpaws and inside low kick, but majority of his offense comes from his hands. He has a straight punch, jab, and a counter two that are his go-to moves. He has a nice uppercut when his opponents lean low to duck, and he likes to push opponents to the fence to start attacking. His takedown defense needs works, and then he has a great chin and powerful punches. One of the things I think that's going to be easy to overlook, like you said, was these guys saying that they're not going to wrestle or this and that. But come on now. The blueprint is out on Volkov. He got taken down 13, 14 times by Curse Blades. And Ciryl Gane has a pretty good wrestling background. I feel like it'd be hard pressed to say that he's not going to use it or to use it at times to just calm the situation down when Volkov tries to get heated up and get him to the cage, because all he has to do is take him down, and which is going to be easy. But I feel like he's going to utilize his distance. That's his bread and butter. He utilizes his distance. He's going to use those leg kicks, kick him, move back, come in and strike. I could see him trying to get in close, because that way Volkov can't use his striking range, because he's going to be in too close. Use those elbows, use those knees, use everything in his arsenal to wear out Volkov, because Ciryl Gane can go for 6, 7, 8 rounds. He has that exceptional cardio, and I feel like he's going to pick up the win. It's just a matter of what. And I think I'm going to go with the 4th round knockout. I think I'm going to go with that. I think he's going to use the wrestling early on to limit ties what Volkov can do with his legs. And then he's going to get up and he's going to use the distance. And like, you got a guy like Volkov who's starting to use his traits, because he came in from light heavyweight. So now he's building up the weight. And so I think he's not going to utilize the wrestling against Volkov as much, because Blades is a heavier guy. But I think he's going to be able to use it because Volkov doesn't know how to defend it, because of his long legs. It's easy to take him down with him. So I'm going to go with 4th round knockout by Gane.
Okay, so let's play.